Good evening. How art thou on this fine evening? I say how art thou because I am reading Shakespearean sonnets, and I thought what better idea for content than to bring the sonnets to you. Sonnets were a great way to get a taste of Shakespeare as opposed to reading an entire play from the beginning to the end. I'm going to read them at random because I was initially going to read them in order, but I realized that they are grouped into categories, so if I read them in order we'd get a big chunk of Shakespeare's opinions on love, and if I'm honest, it isn't the greatest. I should also mention my name and whatnot. I am Dakota. It is lovely to meet you if we haven't already. I just like books and words and things. Welcome. This is the book I'm going to be reading you. It's Sonnets by Shakespeare, very much self-explanatory. They are edited by Alessandro Galenzi, and I will do my very best, my very, very, very best to do them justice. If I stay in context, I could say bestest, because Shakespeare was renowned for making up his own words, so perhaps I'll throw in a few of my own. Let's start with bestest. I'll try my bestest. I'm not sure if Australian accents can be soothing. Can they? I will do my best for you, dearest viewer. Also, inconveniently enough, they are not titled. To me, fair friend, you can never be old, for as you were when first your eye I eyed, such seems your beauty still, 3 winters cold have from the forest shook 3 summers pride. 3 beauteous springs to yellow autumn turned, in process of the seasons have I seen. 3 April perfumes in 3 hot Junes burned, since first I saw you fresh which yet are green. Ah, yet doth beauty, like a dial hand, still from his figure, and no pace perceived. So your sweet hue, which methinks still doth stand, hath motion, and mine eye may be deceived. For fear of which, hear this, thou age unbred, ere you were born, was beauty's summers dead. Ah, what a lovely last line to end on. Ere you were born, was beauty's summers dead. I just love the words summer and dead next to each other, because where I'm from, everything dies in summer because it's so hot. But, I love it when poems start with but. But, be contented when that fellow rest, without all bale shall carry me away. My life hath in this line some interest, for which memorial still with thee shall stay. When thou reviewest this, thou dost review the very part was consecrate to thee. The earth can have but earth, which is his due. My spirit is thine, the better part of me. So then thou hast but lost the dregs of life, the prey of worms, my body being dead, the coward conquest of a wretch's knife, too base of thee to be remembered. The worth of that is that which it contains, and that it is, and this with thee remains. I love how frequently Shakespeare couples death and worms, so you'll see the themes of death and dying so commonly frequented with worms. It's just powerful imagery, because when I think of death and dying, I think of the worms and the bodies, which isn't a very nice thought, but it's just what I think, and it seems as though Shakespeare had the same thought. Farewell. Thou art too dear for my possessing, and like enough thou knowest thy estimate. The charter of thy worth gives thee releasing, my bonds in thee are all determinate. For how do I hold thee, but by thy granting, and for that riches where is my deserving? The cause of this fair gift in me is wanting, and so my patent back again is swerving. Thyself thou gavest, thy own worth not then knowing, or me, to whom thou gavest it, else mistaking. So thy great gift, upon misprision growing, comes home again, on better judgment making. Thus, have I had thee as a dream doth flatter, in sleep a king, but waking no such matter. When my love swears that she is made of truth, I do believe her, though I know she lies, that she might think me some untutored youth, unlearned in the world's false subtleties. Thus, vainly thinking that she thinks me young, although she knows my days are past the best, simply I credit her false-speaking tongue, on both sides thus is simple truth suppressed. But wherefore says she not she is unjust, and wherefore says not I that I am old? Oh, love's best habit is in seeming trust, and age in love loves not to have years told. Therefore I lie with her, and she with me, and in our faults by lies we flattered be. I'm not sure if this is to be taken in a literal sense about a literal age gap that may be concerning, but more so about maturity levels. But also back in the time in which this was written, an age gap was probably very much likely. Two loves I have of comfort and despair, which like two spirits do suggest me still. The better angel is a man right fair, the worse spirit a woman called ill. To win me soon to hell, my female evil tempteth my better angel from my side, and would corrupt my saint to be a devil, wooing his purity with her foul pride. And whether that my angel be turned fiend, suspect I may, yet not directly tell. But being both from me, both to each friend, I guess one angel in another's hell. Yet this shall I never know, but live in doubt, till my bad angel fire my good one out. Wow, that's really pretty. I do like that one a lot. Sweet love, renew thy force, be it not said, thy edge should blunter be thine appetite, which but today by feeding is allied, tomorrow sharpened in his former mind. So love, be thou, although today thou fill thy hungry eyes, even till they wink with fullness, tomorrow see again, and do not kill the spirit of love with a perpetual dullness. That's really pretty. Wow. Let this sad interim like the ocean be, which parts ashore where two contracted new come daily to the banks, that when they see return of love, more blessed may be the view. As call it winter, which, being full of care, makes summers welcome, thrice more wished, more rare. Wow, that's really nice. I love anything with seasonal connotations. If thou survive my well-contented day, when that shall death my bones with dust shall cover, and shalt my fortune once more re-survey, these poor rude lines of thy deceased lover, compare them with the battering of the time, and though they be outstripped by every pen, reserve them for my love, not for their rhyme, exceeded by the height of happier men. Oh, then vouchsafe me but this loving thought, had my friend's muse grown with this growing age, a dearer birth than his love had brought, to march in ranks of better equipage. But since he died and poets better prove, there's for their style I'll read, his for his love. Be wise as thou art cruel, do not press my tongue-tied patience with too much disdain, lest sorrow lend me words, and words express the manner of my pity-wanting pain. If I might teach thee wit, better it were, though not to love, yet love to tell me so, as testy sick men when their deaths be near, no news but health from their physicians know. For, if I should despair, I should grow mad, and in my madness might speak ill of thee. Now, this ill-resting world is grown so bad, mad slanderers by mad ears believe it be, that I may not be so, nor thou bleed. Bear thine eyes straight, though thy proud heart go wide. The note says that this ill-resting world means the world that twists everything out of shape. It's quite morbid. The little love god, lying once asleep, laid by his side with heart-inflaming brand, whilst many nymphs that vowed chaste life to keep came tripping by, but in her maiden hand the fairest votary took up that fire which many legions of true hearts had warmed, and so the general of hot desire was sleeping by a virgin hand disarmed. This brand she quenched in a cool well by, which from love's fire took her heat perpetual, growing from a bath and healthful remedy for men diseased, but I, my mistress thrall, came there for cure, and this by that I prove, love's fire heats water, water cools not love. It's pretty, but the half rhymes rather than full rhymes are irking me because most of the others have full rhymes, and I suppose in their accents they would have had full rhymes. How would they have pronounced prove and love in a way that would have rhymed? They wouldn't have said prov, and they wouldn't have said Louvre. A woman's face with nature's own hand painted, hast thou, the master mistress of my passion, a woman's gentle heart, but not acquainted with shifting change, as if false women's fashion, and I more bright than theirs, less false in rolling, gilding the object whereupon it gazeth, a man in hue, all hues in its controlling, which steals men's eyes and women's souls amazeth. And for a woman wert thou first created, till nature, as she wrought thee, fell a-doting, and by addition me of thee defeated, by adding one thing to my purpose nothing. But since she pricked thee out for women's pleasure, mine be thy love, and thy loves use their treasure. Yeah, the last 4 lines, sexual double innuendos / connotations are very much there. So, is it not with me as with that muse, stirred by a painted beauty to his verse, who heaven itself for ornament doth use, and every fair with his fair doth rehearse, making a complement of proud compare, with sun and moon, with earth and sea's rich gems, with April's firstborn flowers and all things rare, that Evans e'er in this huge rondure hems. Oh, let me, true in love, but truly right, and then believe me my love is fair, as any mother's child, though not so bright as those gold candles fixed in heaven's air. Let them say more that like of here say well, I will not praise that purpose not to sell. Just by the first 2 lines of this sonnet, I think it's going to be beautiful, but it very much may not be. Shakespeare tends to be hit or miss when it comes to love. Love is too young to know what conscience is, yet who knows not conscience is born of love. Then, gentle cheater, there we go, urge not my amiss, less guilty of my faults thy sweet self prove. For thou betraying me, I do betray my nobler part to my gross body's treason. My soul doth tell my body that he may triumph in love, flesh stays no further reason, but, rising at thy name, doth point out thee as his triumphant prize. Proud of his pride, he is contended thy poor drudge to be, to stand in thy affairs full by thy side. No want of conscience hold it that I call her love, whose dear love I rise and fall. He used love in quotations, so obviously the love is not love. How oft, when thou, my music playest upon that blessed wood whose motion sounds, with thy sweet fingers, when thou gently swayest the weary concord that mine there confounds, do I envy those jacks that nimble leap, to kiss the tender inward of thy hand, whilst my poor lips, which should the harvest reap, at the wood's boldness be thy blushing stand, to be so tickled they would change their state and situation with those dancing chips, over whom thy fingers walk with gentle gait, making dead wood more blessed than living lips. Since saucy jacks so happy are in this, give them thy fingers, me thy lips to kiss. The expense of spirit in a waste of shame is lust in action, and till action lust is perjured, murderous, bloody, full of blame, savage, extreme, rude, cruel, not to trust, enjoyed no sooner but despised straight, past reason hunted and no sooner had, past reason hated as a swallowed bait, on purpose laid to make the taker mad. Mad in his pursuit, and in possession so, had, having, and in quest to have extreme, a bliss in proof and proved a very woe, before a joy proposed behind a dream. All this the world well knows, yet none knows well, to shun the heaven that leads men to this hell. That's really interesting. It's quite morbid, actually. Oh, how I faint when I of you do write, knowing a better spirit doth use your name, and in the praise thereof spends all his might to make my tongue tied speaking of your fame. But since your worth wide as the ocean is, the humble as the prouder sail doth bear, my saucy bark, inferior far to his, on your broad main doth wilfully appear. Your shallowest help will hold me up afloat, whilst he upon your soundless deep doth ride, or, being wrecked, I am a worthless boat, he of tall building and of godly pride. Then, if he thrive, and I be cast away, the West was this, my love was my decay. I love that last line. My love was my decay. I just love the concept of decay, because decay is seen as this horrible thing. People think it couples with rot, but decay signifies the end of something and the beginning of something. Be careful. Oh, be careful. Be careful. I think on that note, maybe we should all go to bed, because my cat's asking me where I am. I hope you have a glorious day or evening, wherever you're up to. Thank you for being here and letting me scream Shakespeare into your ear. I hope I did an okay job of it. I love you very, very much, and I will see you next time.